Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another video on our channel. Today I'll be showing you how to edit your gaming videos using VSDC Video Editor. It's a pretty complex program, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to edit very well. Anyways, in this video I'll be showing you how to cut your videos, how to add music, transitions, graphics, sound effects, all of that good stuff. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, first I'm going to show you how to install the editor. So what you're going to have to do is go into your browser and search up VSDC Free Video Editor. And you have to make sure to find the right result. So what you're going to do, don't click on this. Don't click on the ad and stuff. You have to go to this one and go to videosoftdev.com. And then you click on this. This is the official website. And what you're going to do is you're going to go here to downloads. You're going to click Video Editor. And then you're going to click download video editor, depending on which version your computer is. And I just chose this one. Anyways, you're going to get the file, and then the file's going to appear right here or down here, depending on what browser you have. And then what you're going to do once it's done, you're going to open the file, and then it's going to bring up a little window like this. So after you're done with that, you're going to click next. And then you click I accept the agreement. You're going to click next, and then you're going to click next, and then just choose where you want to install it. And then yeah, and then you just do all of this stuff. You can choose this, unchoose this, and then you click install, and you just gotta wait for it to install. Alright, so once you have it installed, this will show up. It doesn't matter. That's just a thank you for installing the video editor. Now what you're going to do, you're going to click launch VSDC Free Video Editor so you can just launch it. And you click finish, it's going to launch. Just wait for it to load. Alright, and then once you're in the video editor, this pop-up will show up. Just ignore this. You don't need to get the pro version because all of the stuff I'm going to be showing this video can be done in the normal version. So what you're going to do, you're going to click blank project, and then you're going to name the project whatever your video is called. I'm just going to name it Bed Wars because this is an example project. You can fill out this, author, publisher, description, copyright, but I usually don't do that because I don't need to. Device, I select YouTube, resolution, do high quality full HD. Frame rate, this is just your choice. I record my videos at 30 FPS because I don't have the best computer, but if you're recording your videos at 60 FPS, knock yourself out. And then background, that doesn't matter. I mean, you can change it if you want, but it doesn't really matter. Frequency also doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just up to opinion on this. So once you're done setting it up, you're going to click finish. It's going to bring you in. So you can see how it's kind of cluttered. You could just pin all of this stuff. Wait, you can close this out. I don't know what that's for, but I just like to pin all of this stuff down so it looks a lot less cluttered. All right, once you're in your project, the first thing you could do is import your footage because as you can see, the timeline's looking quite empty. So one way to do it is you go to editor, you click add object, and it's gonna open up a pop-up showing you your files, and then you're gonna find where you stored the footage, and then you're just gonna click it and then click open, and it'll put it right here. Another way I do it is what I do is I go right here to my files. I go to where I have my video saved, and you can just minimize the window and drag it in like that. And then it's in. And then you see you have your footage in. Another way you can do it is you can click right here and then same thing. It's gonna open up a pop-up and then you choose where you store your files. So as you can see, you have the clip right here, but it looks kind of small. So to fix that, you could just zoom in by dragging your mouse, or you could zoom out. And yeah, that's the zooming in and zooming out controls. And you could still see it still looks kind of small. If you want to see the clips better, you could do this, and then it makes the clips bigger and easier to see. Let me try out a bit. Now that you have your footage in, you want to be able to cut down this raw footage, right? Because it's very long. It's about 15 minutes long. So, and let's say at the beginning, I'm quiet a bit. So let me play the recording. To play the recording, you can press the space bar on your keyboard, or you can click this little button. Okay. And then there's about this 2-second silence of me being quiet. So if you want to fix that, you're gonna go to editor. Well, first you can make sure you have to click on the clip. Click on the clip until you see the blue editor, the blue outline, and then you're gonna click on editor, and you're gonna click on trim start. And what that does is just trim out the part you weren't talking. And you have to make sure your crosshair is after the part you weren't talking, like at the exact end of the part. Okay, like you gotta make it, yeah, about right there, and you're just gonna trim it out. And also, a very important thing, you have to drag it back once you're done, because you see how you can drag this clip, you have to drag it back to the beginning, so it stays as usual instead of just being a black screen. Alright, so now that you know how to trim the beginning, I'll show you how to trim the end. Trimming the end is a lot easier. All you have to do is just do this, and it automatically trims it for you. That's how you trim the end of a clip. To undo, you click Ctrl Z, and then that undoes everything you've done. And then you can see how it's undoing everything I've done. And then to redo, you can go to edit and click redo. And also there's an easier way to undo. You can also undo up here if you want. Alright, so now that you know the basic controls, I'll show you how to cut. What I do is I just drag. You can choose how long you want it to be. I'm just going to make it this long. Then you click editor. And then what you're going to do, you're going to click cut out fragment. There's also a keyboard shortcut if you want to follow that. And that cuts out that fragment of the video. So now that you've cut out the fragment, you can see that there's this little red dot right here. That means that's the separation. And you gotta drag, you can see you can drag the clips apart. They're two separate clips now. Another way you could cut out parts is to go to any point in the video, a point that I feel like you have to cut out. Then you click this, which splits your clip. And then you could just drag this back a bit, just a tiny bit, not much. And then you just trim the end until you reach this. You gotta just drag it back, connect it again, and then you can see it's gonna cut. It's not gonna be smooth. I fell. Whatever, but I'm kind of scared. Yeah, that wasn't a smooth cut because it was just an example, but as you can see, we made a cut. And then if you want to get that stuff back, it's not lost forever. All you have to do is just drag it back. And then drag it back until this red marker will appear. And then that means that's the end of your clip. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to keep repeating that for the entire video until you reach the end of the video. And this is a very lengthy process. It's going to take a while, a few minutes, even a few hours or days, depending on how long your video is. But it'll be worth it. Okay, so once you have your cut footage, it should look something like this. Of course, my cuts aren't the best because I'm rushing out these cuts. But yeah, your footage should look something like this. Maybe more, maybe less. The video is really short. The longer the video is, the more cuts you'll have. Because this video is only about 3.5 minutes long. Anyways, now that you have your cuts and all, you're probably thinking on how to add transitions and stuff. So I'm going to show you how to add transitions in between clips. It's not that hard, actually. It's pretty simple. So what you gotta do, you have to select the clip out of all of your cuts. You gotta select the clip that you want to add a transition to. I'm just doing the first one, for example. Then you're gonna click here, this little tab. It's gonna bring up this, and then you're gonna go to editor. Then you're gonna go to video effects, transitions, and then you choose one. Okay, listen, very important. You could only use these ones because these ones are specifically for the Pro version. So don't use the first four unless if you have the Pro version, or else the transitions won't work when you export your video. So don't use these ones unless if you have the Pro version. But you could choose from these ones right here. And then, here, let me go back again so I can show you what you do. You're gonna go to editor, video effects, yeah. You're gonna go to mosaic. If you want it to transition in from the start of the scene, you're gonna do from the start of the scene. And you can see the transition is gonna happen from the start of the scene. If I drag my cursor over this, you can see it's mosaicing in. And then you can change the length by dragging it in and out, make it last the entire scene, even though I don't know why you want to do that. And then if I play it by clicking space, okay, it makes a pretty smooth transition. And then let's say I want to transition out. I'm gonna go to push. I mean, you don't have to choose push, and then you're gonna do to the end of scene. So transitions out at the end. And if my teammates still, and then of course you could see that cut wasn't smooth because it was rushed, but you could see it cutting out slowly. And then if you want to edit the intensity and other settings, you could go to the properties window. You open it. I know this may sound confusing. It is. And what you can do, you can change the transparency. You can change the type, door, slide, strips. You can customize your transition to your liking. And then you can also do that for any other transition. So what you're going to do next, you're probably going to be looking for music. So you're going to have to choose a website. The website I use is called Uppbeat.io. Oh, that's how you spell it. But just search Uppbeat.io music and click the first one. It has 2 P's, Uppbeat.io. Now what you're going to do, you have to click sign up. And then, yeah, just go through the sign-in process. I just usually make it with my Google account, but it's your choice on how you want to sign in. So you just click sign up. I'll do sign in with Google. Do free first. I choose free. And then it's pretty good. You get 10 tracks each month and then no YouTube copyright, and you get 30% of the catalog access, which may not seem like a lot, but it is a lot. There's lots of music for you to choose from. And then you click I agree, click sign out with Google or whatever, and then yeah. Alright, so once you sign in, I mean, it should bring this up, unless if you sign in with Google, I think it pulls up something else, I'm not sure. You're gonna choose what's your theme. I choose gaming, and I what's your vibe. I mean, you don't have to do this, but you can do other whatever you want to have in your videos. And you verify your email, so I'm just gonna do that really quickly. And once you're verifying your email, this will show up. It's gonna say you're all set. Thanks for verifying your account. It's time to start browsing. And then you can just look for your music. You just gotta scroll around the pages. I usually go for upbeat music, and then once you find an artist you like, you could use multiple music from that artist. There's also chill music. It just goes for the vibe that you want in your video. Okay, so when you find the music you want, let me just listen to this one. What I like to do, okay, sure, good enough. You're gonna click download, and then it says, say thanks, avoid claims. This is really important. You have to remember this, or else your video will get copyright claimed. So if you don't want your video to get copyright claimed, then follow my instructions. You gotta copy and paste this into your description. Just copy it and then paste it into your description. And then if you want to access later, you just go to your account, and then you go to your download history, and then you click view credit, and you can copy it if you ever lose your credit. But that's very important if you don't want to get copyrighted. So now you have the music. Or you can just drag it into the editor, or you could do all of the other methods I've shown you by clicking this or going to editor, add object, audio. And then you can add multiple music tracks from different things. Now the thing is, if you want the music to loop for the rest of the video, you're gonna have to open the properties window again, and then you're gonna click the loop mode, and then you're gonna click to loop audio. And then also you can change the audio volume. I usually have mine around -25-ish. Depends on how loud your track is. Red's already here. That seems too loud, so I might put it down to like -27. It just fiddle around with it until you find a sound that's good for you. And then you have your music. Next up is sound effects. So sound effects are also pretty easy. You can just search up sound effects. For my sound effects, I use this website because it has lots and lots and lots of sound effects. And then they're very easy to download. All you have to do is click a button, and this website's completely safe. It's very easy to get lots of sound effects. So I could get lots of sound effects, and then if you can't find any sound effects, you can get it from YouTube and download it from there. So let's say I wanna add maybe, let's add a talk about sound effect. You're just gonna click download. And then you can open the file, go to your folders, drag it in, open the video editor, and then you can add your sound effect in. And as you see the sound effects here, you can change it to be longer or shorter, and then you can move it around the timeline. And then if you want to make a sound effect nested inside a clip, what you could do, if you want the sound effect to be nested inside, first you choose the clip you want it to be nested inside in. so the timeline looks a lot more organized. Let's say you want it to be nested inside this clip. You do this, you go to this clip, and then you just drag it into this clip, and now it's nested inside this specific clip. It's not on the timeline, as you can see. Only the original one's on the timeline. And now if you play it, red's already here. And as you can see, it plays a sound effect. So now you know how to add sound effects, and that's great. So what you're gonna do now is you want to learn how to add graphics. Let's just search emoji. Let's say you want to add a random face. You could just find any random emoji. I'm just gonna download this. You save the image, you save it, and then you drag it into VSDC. You can do it in scene 0. You can have it nested inside a clip. It's your choice. I'm just gonna have it in scene 0 for accessibility. And then you can have the image. The image is right here. It's lasting since for the beginning to the end. If you don't want it to be as long, just drag it down to how long you want to be. Another very important thing, you have to drag the image on top of the video. I forgot to mention that. But that's what's happening. Why the image doesn't show up, it's because the video is over the image. So what you could do, just click this up right here. It's gonna place the image above the video. And then if I go to the image right here, that's fine. It's gonna show up for a small bit. And then let's say you want to make the image fade in and stuff. Right now, I'm just gonna do fade in. So you can do fade in from the start. So when the image appears, and then it fades in. That's fine. You could customize that by going to the properties window. I keep closing out that. Anyways, you can fix that by going to the properties window, and then you could change the starting transparency, like when it starts to fade in, and the ending transparency. So as you can see, like that. And then you could have the initial value, the final value. You could edit this. You can do this for pretty much any effects. That's your fade in. And then let's say you want it to fade out, you just do the same thing. You go to transparency, fade out, and then there's lots of effects you can play around with. All right, so now that you have your clip in my very badly edited video, if you want to add that pop to your video, what I like to do is to emphasize moments, I like to add subtitles. Like when I'm saying something funny or saying something important or saying something dramatic, I like to add subtitles to emphasize it, to make the viewer feel like it's important and that it has an impact on them. I'm just gonna make it on the main timeline. You could make it nested inside if you want. I usually have them nested inside so the timeline looks cleaner. It's easier for me to organize my thoughts, but that's fine. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna click add object, and then you're gonna click text, and then you're gonna just do that, click OK, and then you're gonna drag how big you want it to be, and then you type your text. Hello world. As you can see, this text looks very bland, not like the subtitles I have in our videos. So I'm just gonna drag this text, center on screen, on the bottom of the screen. I can make it a bit smaller. You see, it doesn't look good. But as you can see, the text is there. So of course, it doesn't look the best. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna go to editor, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna go to editor, and you can choose your font. And then your font will appear here. I'm just gonna choose a big font because for my subtitles, I usually have to like big bold fonts or like so it really sticks out. This isn't the best font, but it worked. So now that you have your font in, you want to add an outline, right? So it looks good. So what you're going to do is set this opacity to 100%. And then the outline's going to appear. I don't know if you can see, it's going to be very thin. If you want to zoom in on the video, you can use this. It's going to be very thin. You can't see the outline. It's 1 pixel thick. So what you want to do to fix that, you gotta go to here and then just change the thickness. And now you can see it has a pretty nice outline. And then you can change the text color too. And then once you have that outline, it looks good, but it still looks kind of bland. Like it looks kind of thin and weird. So what I do is you can I go to Fox Bold, and then I set the weight of it. It depends on the font, because sometimes adding Fox Bold makes your font look weird. But I set the weight to probably around semi-bold, and then you can see our text looks a lot thicker and better. So if you look at our text, but you can see the outline too small. And of course, if you want to make the text size bigger, you just go to this right here, make the text bigger. Not that big, unless if you want to, but I usually have it at 96, I think I have it at. You can see the text is starting to shape up pretty well. Now you can see it's on the left side of the box. So what you're gonna do, you click on paragraph, and then you click on center, and then it's gonna center the text. And then now that the text is centered, you have your subtitles. Except once you play it, you can see, of course, the text kind of just pops into existence with no real detail. What you do is you go to the little text nest, and then you're gonna click on editor, click add object, and then not add object. You're gonna go to video effects, you're gonna go to transform, and then you're gonna click zoom. This is zooming. You could generalize that for everything, so you can make everything zoom. It's really helpful. The zoom doesn't do anything right now, and I know you're probably confused by it, but what you can do, you're gonna click levels, and then you're gonna click that until it's diagonal. You're gonna set the starting value to 0 to 100, and that's what you're gonna do. Set the starting value to 0 to 100. Make sure it's like this. Don't mess with any of this stuff, and then it should look fine. And then now, if you play it, it's gonna zoom in, and then that looks pretty good. If you want to keep those subtitles, you can just copy and paste it as many times as you want, and then every time you talk, you could just put a new text. You could just put a new text every time you talk, and it's gonna show your new text. So next, I'm gonna be showing you how to add zooming. This is really important if you want to add emphasis in moments, like if you want to zoom in on something to show emphasis. So first, you can select the clip, and you can move your cursor over to the part. So I'm in the shop right now, but you can see stuff looks kind of small. You want to be able to see that better. What you can do, you could go to editor, you're going to click video effects, you're going to click transforms, and click zoom. And then it's going to add a zoom. Okay, so as you can see, that looks kind of weird. And then you can see it just zooms in like that really weirdly. So you're gonna have to open the properties window, I know, with this property stuff. And then you're gonna set the first value to 100. Make sure you have the first value set to 100. And then the second value, just change it to how much you want it to zoom in. And then you can have it, you see, now you can see, and you can change to the center of the zoom. If you have to zoom in right here. I usually have it at the center of the shop. And then let's say you want to zoom in more, you can make it zoom in more, it's up to you. And then you have the zooming in like that. And that looks pretty good. So, okay. And then as you can see, it just zooms in and then stops zooming. What you gotta do, you have to copy this. And then just connect that exactly. Just connect it until how long you want to zoom in. And then you go to properties. And then you just clean this until it's one value again. Just set it to the amount of zoom. So I made it zoom in for 300, right? And then it's gonna stay in without just popping back to being unzoomed. I'm just gonna do one quick round since you see, and then if you want to zoom back out, you can add a zooming back out effect. Just copy and paste that, edit it, and then what you're gonna do, you're gonna set this to 300, set this to 100, and yeah, that's how you zoom in. All right, there's one last thing I need to show you guys. And that's green screening. So I'm just gonna search up a green screen image right now. Green image. I'm just gonna search up a green screen image. Obviously you guys would probably use a video, but I'm just choosing an image because I don't really have the time to add a video. Anyways, I'm gonna just take that, save that image. You can download it. And then you drag it into the editor. And then you can see it has a big green ugly screen. This works for videos too, keep that in mind. If you want to get rid of this green screen, what you do is you go to editor, you go to video effects, you go to transparency, you click background remover, and you click OK. And then you can see most of it's already been removed, but you see this little fuzzy stuff at the edge right there. There's a very easy way to fix this. You just go to the properties window, make sure to select the green screen, and this will pop up. And then you can just click add additional color, and then just choose the color. And now it looks a lot better. You can still see there's some fuzzy stuff around the end. So what I do is I just play with these values right here until it seems to go away. And then just play with these values until all of the stuff seems to go away. That's how you do green screen. And then you can see that the image of the background is completely removed. Last but not least, once you're done with your quality video, you're gonna go to export project, and then you're gonna make sure to click web, and then you're gonna click for YouTube. And then you can see you have your finished video. You can preview it, watch it over, see your finished edit, see how you like it, see if you want to change stuff, watch it over one last time. You can choose your output file location by going into your files and copy and pasting where you want it to be saved. Or you can change all these settings one last time, see how you like it, crop over, and then once you're done, you're gonna go to export project and then click export project. And then this always shows up, I don't know why, but just ignore this. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know VSDC is a very great program for editing. It takes a lot of practice, so don't get discouraged if your editing isn't the best, because mine wasn't at first and mine still isn't, as I'm still a new channel, but I'm gonna keep trying and improving my editing and becoming the best YouTuber I can. So hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe as we're a relatively new channel, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.